Yeah, first off, I want to, thank the people for having us out here this tournament. It's a real honor for us to be included in tournament of this caliber, right? It's a tremendous tournament, with Vanderbilt and UC Irvine and University of Arizona. These are Omaha-type schools that all four, we haven't been to Omaha yet, but well, it sure seems like this is a loaded tournament, and just getting an honor we just feel honored that we're invited to come and be a part of this. It was one of our goals when we first took the program to where we were invited to these type of tournaments, and now we're here, and hopefully we play well. And I think we played pretty well tonight. I don't think we played our best game, but I do think that, I give credit to Coach Martyr and the offensive coaches. I think they did a good job preparing our team for, Owen Kremkowski. He's got a tremendous arm, as we all saw. I mean, anybody who's throwing mid-90s with a fastball, it's not straight at all, and 90-mile-an-hour cut fastballs that he has. I mean, he's got a tremendous pro career in front of him, and I think Coach Martyr and his staff did a good job preparing our guys. And then I thought there were some really good individual performances along the way through there as well, offensively with Jax and Ryan and Burke Mabius and, so many of those guys. And then from the other side of the ball, I thought we pitched the ball exceptionally well, especially as the game progressed. It seemed like it got better and better.
I want to start with Omaha, Coach, and obviously Arizona was the team that kind of ruined those chances for you last year in Eugene. Going into this game, was the preparation for it more like we want to get revenge against this team, or is it just like any other game playing a really good team?
We didn't play Arizona last year.
In the regionals for the call of in Eugene.
That's right. They came to Eugene and they won our regional, and we didn't play them.
Right.
So we weren't really happy that we didn't win that regional. Mm-hmm. It probably had a lot more to do. We didn't play them, so there was nothing on the field that was just decided there.
Got it.
We were very disappointed with us not being able to win that regional last year. And I think it's a good question, though. I think that there's, is there something that we came in here, wanting to, get revenge? I don't know. I mean, we didn't play them, so it's not really a revenge thing, but it is something where we felt like we left some things on the table at the end of last year. And I know for a fact that with Arizona winning that regional, that's not really a very exciting moment for us. It wasn't last year, and so I'm sure some of the guys in the locker room, Ryan and the returning players, wanted to make sure that we came out on top today, for sure. Great question, though.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
So Ryan, question for you, just the offense itself in general, the 1 through 9, it seems almost like somebody's going to step up at some time. Is that kind of the thinking that you guys have, like somebody's going to make a play if somebody else is struggling?
Absolutely, yeah. I think our team does a great job at picking each other up, especially in the offensive side. We just have a really deep team that can score a lot of different ways, and I think we've showed that so far this year, and are going to continue doing that. But yeah, definitely one guy at a time. Anybody can do it any day. It's not necessarily me or Jax or Laya today, but it can be somebody else every day. So yeah.
Coach West, talk about Angel Laya a little bit. Being a freshman, came in. It's early, obviously a small sample size, but he's hitting over 400 coming in. And then crushes a home run tonight. Just tell me a little bit about him.
Special human being, first off. I mean, I think he's on the honor roll in his first term here at the University of Oregon. Turned a lot of money down to show up to college, right? And he's a super talented guy, but he's humble. And he got another good swing off. I think he was the national freshman of the week, week 1 of the season or something like that. And he could have been in week 2, but I think there were some other good performances that week. He's very gifted, and it didn't. The at-bats he's taken so far have been. It just seems like he's a lot older than he is as a freshman, right? He stands in there well. Even the ball that he hit the shortstop tonight. I mean, he hit against the shift, and I didn't ask him if he intended to do it, but I could have promised you that he did. He's got that kind of a feel and bat control where, from a pride standpoint, if anybody tries to take advantage of him over shifting, he'll just hit against it. He's kind of an old school guy. He'll like pepper balls around the field in batting practice, and I think his dad must have taught him that.
Ryan, Will Sanford's had a hot start to the season. He had 7 more strikeouts tonight. Just what is it like as an offensive player when your pitcher's out there performing like that? Yeah,
for me, it's easy. It makes the game slow down a lot for the offense, especially for me on defense as well. Like having a guy really confident on the mound is just a great fun watch, and also gives me the confidence to protect him behind him. And Sanford's fantastic. I think he competes better than anybody else out there, and he's exciting to watch every single day. So.
Ryan, coming to this game, a lot of the media has kind of cast Oregon a little to the side just because you played George Mason and Youngstown State, two teams that aren't necessarily big in the baseball world, but you are undefeated. You have 19 strikeouts today in this game. Obviously, the bats were hot with multiple home runs. What are you hoping to how are you planning on rewriting the narrative for Oregon going throughout the rest of the season, especially with this tournament, with big teams like UC Irvine and Vanderbilt coming up for you?
Yeah, for us, I don't necessarily think there's a narrative in the locker room. We're just sticking to our process and how we play the game, and I think that's shown so far. And those teams that we played early on are good baseball teams. I mean, we just play who's on our schedule and execute what we can do, and that's what we're going to continue doing. We're excited to continue playing this weekend. I mean, it was excited to play out there against Arizona and excited for tomorrow. But otherwise, we just stick to a standard and play that every single day, not about necessarily the opponent or who we got next.
Coach, I'd be remiss if I didn't ask about Tanner Bradley and his outing tonight with, was it nine strikeouts in 4.1 innings. Give me a few words about him.
Yeah, I think 17 hitters, right? And it was 9 Ks, and I think he gave up 3 singles, just ground balls. Walked a guy, hit a guy, was just lights out. I mean, he came in, and Will was battling, and he had really good stuff, but he wasn't as sharp as maybe he wanted to be. And Tanner came in and just settled everything down. And for me, I was really happy for Tanner. Going into the season, he was up for a starting job, and he had thrown the ball really, really well for us, coming off of a really good summer. And even at the end of last year, he was really good for us. And so it's not a surprise, but he was tremendous. And then Ryan at the end was lights out. And he's, credit to Coach Flora and Dan Straley. Those guys are down there and working with those pitchers, and so far it's an early season, but those guys have thrown the ball very well.
Coach Waz, I'm not sure if you're aware of this, but Dan Lanning was actually in attendance for the game tonight.
Yeah.
Obviously, you look at a guy like Bryce Betcher from last year, who obviously went 2 ways for Oregon on football and on baseball. How important is it for you to have, kind of like the kindling of coaches amongst the college campus and really kind of bringing the athletics department all together?
Well, I don't know that, for me, yeah, Coach is he's a good friend of ours, right? And, he invites us to his practices, and we invite him to ours, and he comes with his staff, and, he showed up today with his whole staff, and it's awesome. That's the University of Oregon, though. That's not anything that I'm doing special. That's well before me. And the people, Mr. Mullins, who runs the place, with President Schultz. Those guys are creating that environment, and it's just awesome that we get to be in it, to be honest with you. And so for Coach Lanning and his whole staff to be here, they're at our scrimmages, to be honest with you, and we're at theirs. He's an awesome guy, and he's one heck of a football coach.
Yeah, obviously gave you that helmet for the celebrations too, which is great.
Yeah, we gave him Bryce Betcher. So far it's been a pretty good trade, I think. So.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
Awesome.
Thank you, Coach.